Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to kick off here with Week 1 of Season 11 of League 1 NCAA football. We've got one game coming for you this evening, but it's a good one. It is a user-user matchup between Coach Spectre of the number 4 Washington State Cougars and Coach rBark of the number 18 Boise State Broncos, and we will now join them for kickoff.
All right, I'm gonna cut off here. I'll catch up with you at the end of the game.
All right, man. Good luck.
All right, good luck to you too, man. No injuries, no controversy.
Hey, I'm pretty sure. Never mind. It'll be all right. I'm good.
Okay. Good luck to you.
All right.
Later.
Forgot which keyboard works for a second there.
Definitely don't want justice on the first touchdown.
All right.
Probably the second across the line.
Okie dokie. Let's take a quick look at top players at home and away before joining this game, just because we're not taking the time to go through these rosters. But that is a sophomore 95 halfback of Jay Ferguson, number 36 for the Boise State Broncos. It's going to be deadly. Good combination there, 1-2 punch with T. Joseph, the wide receiver, and everybody loves an 89 overall right end. Here on the Smurf turf in Boise, Idaho, the land of potatoes and French fries. I gotta believe that the hush puppies at the local diner, the hash browns, are top notch. $10-mile-an-hour wind, oblique. It's not crosswind. It's not up and down. It's at a pretty 45-degree angle there. That's could cause some problems as Coach Spectre makes his adjustments. We've had some trouble in the past with user games with connectivity, and it looks like it's going pretty smoothly. Now, part of the reason for this is, of course, we have shrunk the maximum playbook size from a maximum of 754 plays between your offensive and defensive playbook to 110 between those two playbooks. So it's a significant difference in order to facilitate latency. Good evening, Coach Seawack. It's always a pleasure to have you. I hope you can stick around for this game as much as possible. I know you're a busy man, but there's a lot of film here that I'm sure we're going to all be very interested in. And you're absolutely right. Good luck to both coaches. We now see Boise State come out for their first play on the Smurf turf, camouflaged in that bright sky blue. And it looks like there was a fumble there. Either that or a pitch. Because Griffin was not the runner for most of that distance. It was Ferguson. But that's a great recovery by. Frankly, I don't know who Griffin is on Boise State. I don't know if he's an offensive lineman or wide receiver, possibly a tight end. He's an offensive lineman. Great heads-up play by Washington State there, but Ferguson gets it just close enough and gets the first down after getting 2 yards on second down. Indeed, we are. And we're just hoping, hoping that Gargamel is still in his redshirt year, and we don't have to face him yet.
From their own 35-yard line, it's first down.
The formation change doesn't trick Washington State's defense, and they sniff out the play action and get a tackle for loss. It is 2nd and 14.
Second down and 14. Ball on the 31-yard line.
Strong pass rush there from Washington State means that the Boise quarterback has to throw it away. It is 3rd and 14. Long distance here. Had a little bit of problem with the audibles on that play. We now resume your regularly scheduled 3rd down.
From their own 31-yard line. 3rd down. Zips it to the back. Tackles him hard at the 49-yard line. I'm not sure if the back was his first option.
A short pass to Ferguson over the middle leads to yards after the catch and the first down on 3rd and long.
We've got a 1st and 10. Ball on the 49. Throws it in a hurry. They'll bring him down at the 33.
Play action to Tony Lundy for just short of 20 yards.
From the 33-yard line. First down.
Despite the audible moving that single back up onto the line, defense of Washington State is there. 2nd and 10.
Rid of that football or check it down or take off and run with it.
8th play of this drive.
Heavy package here from Boise.
And he hits him hard at the 32-yard line. The halfback.
The heavy package gives away the run. Ferguson only manages 1 yard. It is now 3rd and long.
This is the 9th play of this drive. There are 5 wide receivers split out. The quarterback in the gun.
Ginsburg with the pick there.
I just don't think he saw the defender, and he threw the ball right at him.
Great job by Alan Ginsburg there, jumping the route, getting the ball, and getting downfield, giving Washington State possession on the opponent's 40-yard line.
40-yard line. First down. Caught out in the open.
Hannibal Lecter catches the ball behind the linebackers, almost gets through the secondary.
When they blitzed, it created a hole in the cover.
Gets 18 yards.
Took advantage of it.
A lot of blue on the field, a lot of orange in the stands. I don't see a whole lot of red. Washington State not traveling well early this season.
Ball on the 42-yard line. There's a strike to
An incredible job to hold on there by Simon Phoenix. He only gets 1 yard, but that was in tight coverage. And those sticky hands prevented a quite possible pick. Washington State with an excellent chemistry department that helps create new stickum, compounds for their football team.
40-yard line. It's second down.
Lots of scholarships at 3M. And Alan Rickman with a fantastic spin move gets into the secondary. Can he beat the last man? He can, and he gets the touchdown. A fantastic run. Coach Spectre explaining to our sideline reporter that the back there, giving it all he had, wasn't going to beat the defender to the end zone line, and therefore had to make the juke in order to prevent getting hit out of bounds for the touchdown. Smart play, smart coaching, coachable knowledge, coachable skills from the Washington State Cougars. As a quick turnaround is going to give Boise the ball again. An excellent kick by Washington State right on the letters. And Boise State is going to start once again from their 25-yard line.
offense will take the field, and they're certainly hoping to do better than they did on their last drive, which ended with a turnover.
Well, they're already playing from behind the 8 ball, but they have plenty of time to get back in this thing.
The second defender is able to come in for Washington State. Unfortunately, he pushes Ferguson forward rather than backwards, making sure that that's a 4-yard gain instead of a 2-yard gain. But he stops the runner, and that's important.
Second down and 6. Ball on their own 29. And down he goes.
Joel Ferguson with another 4-yard rush, and Boise is hurrying up for 3rd and 3. It looks like Washington State was expecting the run there, but the bottling up of the middle to prevent the run up the gut got good pass pressure and caused Boise to throw it away. It's 4th and 3.
Thomas is waiting for the snap. He gets it away, and this is a really nice punt.
Washington State doesn't believe the punt formation, comes out in a standard defense, lets the ball get kicked way behind them, and doesn't attempt to catch up with it and risk the muff, lets Boise pin him way back at the 2-yard line.
It in the end zone on that last drive. They'll come back out looking for more of the same.
Great passing was the key for the offense the last time they had the ball. They were able to pick apart the defense and get down the field for a touchdown.
Quick throw, almost intercepted. Nice job getting a hand on it.
Dangerous play there. Gray getting a hand on the ball, almost getting that pick. 2nd and 10 from within their own end zone.
Second down. They're deep in their own territory. Washington State is up 7. Quick throw to the back. It's incomplete. How about that defensive play?
Ball gets stripped out of the receiver's hands at the last second there. 3rd and 10.
Defense will be digging in here as they're inside their own 5. They spread the field in the gun with 5 wide receivers. Quick strike to the receiver. He's taken down. And about
Simon Phoenix there coming across from right to left receives the pass from Indiana Jones.
Gain and a first down.
First down, 10 to go. Ball on the 23-yard line. And he's taken down.
Indiana Jones makes a tough read there. 2 guys there to stop the read option. Gets stuffed for -3 yards. And follows it up with an overthrow to number 7. 3rd and 13 for Washington State. 50 seconds left in the first quarter.
Third down again. Washington State is up by a touchdown.
I'm sorry, Siwak. I don't actually know what you're talking about with that one. As Ernst Blofeld makes the reception, and there's a flag.
At the 46.
Illegal touching. It's going to come back. It's going to be 4th down.
That penalty will move them back a bit.
Yeah, with so many young guys out there, it's bound to happen occasionally.
Here's a 4th down and long situation.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm not getting the movie reference.
Waiting the return.
Yeah, Demolition Man. Okay. It's been too long since I've actually seen that movie. The ball is muffed. Means it ends up being a short return for Boise State, but they have improved field position since their punt by having an excellent defensive stand against Washington State, who is backed up against their own end zone.
And while they are behind, they know they can knot things up in a heartbeat. It's way too early to change your game plan. He's tackled at the 49, and he gets a yard on the run.
Call it a gain of 1 yard. That makes it 2nd and 10.
This game's already shaping up to be a good one as we head to the second quarter. 7-0, Washington State. Second down, 10 yards to go. Ball on the 49. Finds his man, and they take him down immediately. That last pass was good for maybe 5 yards.
You don't have to go deep every play to be successful. They got 5 yards on the play, and that's always a good game.
They're about 4 yards away here on third down.
He stands too long in the pocket on 3rd and manageable and gets hit to make it 4th and 14. And yes, the seashells are very, very funny. It's a terrible way to clean your ass. And Taco Bell was the winner of the restaurant wars. I'm sure there's many people who would be okay with that, but
Thomas.
I like fresh fish too much.
They didn't
I wouldn't trust their fish tacos if they had them. Boise accepting a delay of game there to make it 4th and 19. I'll readily admit, it's not the same as when they had the popcorn shrimp. Those are freaking great, but I won't pass up a trip to Legal Seafoods any day. It's good shit. Kerouac receives the punt. Block is missed, but Kerouac is able to do something about it, but he's indecisive. Can't decide if he's going left or right. Gets a decent return, but Washington State now is beginning on their own 34. 5 minutes, 27 seconds left in the second.
With 1 quarter down, I really haven't seen too much separation between these two squads. Might be neck to neck the whole way. Washington State is up a score.
There's like 3 of them in the Boston airport, and they're all on the good side of security, so that you pass through security and then you go sit down in the restaurant, and you don't have to be worried about getting your check in time to go through security. I regularly show up at Legal Seafoods, in Terminal B when I go home, when I'm on my way back home from visiting my parents, and I'll stop there and get fish and chips and 24 ounces of beer at 10 in the morning from Legal Seafoods in the Boston airport. It's delicious. As we now come out, single back set for Washington State, 2nd and 10. Quick out drag to the slot receiver. Is able to lean forward, but it's 3rd and inches. Great effort there after the catch by Ernst Blofeld. Usually someone whose performance is really a letdown once they've been caught.
It's 3rd down, and they're about the length of the football away from the first down marker. Tackle at the 46-yard line. Not much there for the halfback.
Gary Sneese there with the fullback dive,
Well, nothing fancy here. The
doing his best impression of an academy offense.
Getting the first down.
Jones comes in at
First down, 10 yards to go. Ball on the 46. Brought down around the 46-yard line.
This time Jones keeps it and runs for 8 yards with some excellent blocking.
It's 2nd down, and they're about 2 yards away from the sticks. Washington State up 7 points. And he's tackled at the positive yardage.
gain of 4 yards. That makes it 1st and 10.
First and 10. Ball on the 42. In the shotgun.
5 wide here for Washington State. Blofeld leans backwards to take the ball from behind a defender and still manages to run upfield 6 more yards. He is a supervillain there as a wideout.
second down and about 2 yards to go. He's at the 20. Completes it across the middle. Tackle made around the 15-yard line.
The Boise State defender there going for the deflection rather than the sure thing on the tackle, being super aggressive there. And as we saw in the Saints-Vikings game earlier this week, that can be really, really dangerous. Now, fortunately for Boise, he had backup coming, unlike that play against the Saints. It's now 3rd and 32. It is 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line for Washington State. As Rickman takes the handoff, runs a leisurely 8 yards, only really getting touched in the last yard and a half.
They're at the 7. 2nd down. Washington State is up 7. Now he tries to buy some time.
He loses the first defender, but can't do anything after the defender overcommits. Gets sacked for 4. It is 3rd and 7.
Picking up the linebackers able to come up with a sack.
But a misread by the defense means that Indiana Jones can walk it right in. All right. Boise gets the touchback. They've got 2 minutes, 29 seconds. They're down by 2 touchdowns. But they've had some good possessions. They've been able to move the ball a few times. Let's see what they can do here against this vaunted Washington State defense. Defense that is really coming into its own after years of diligent recruiting to get the likes of Rudyard Kipling, Danny Glover, and Earthwind Dan Fire. And there he is, Rudyard Kipling, coming in with the Tiger Tiger burning bright.
Sack makes this a 2nd and long.
And the clock is moving as well, so it is minute 55. And the drag route is overthrown by the under-pressure quarterback of Boise State. But the clock has stopped. It is 3rd and 18 with a minute 51 left. As Washington State waits to see what Boise comes out of the huddle with.
Passing situation here on 3rd and long. Ball on the 17-yard line.
Ferguson in the backfield. tight end there with a big reception just past the first down marker. Keeps Boise in this. They've got a minute 44 to keep heading downfield.
From their own 38-yard line. First down.
Kipling this time unable to make the pick despite really, really tight coverage and having the line on that. But the deflection, incompletion, stops the clock.
So it's 2nd and 10. Ball on the 38.
So the long version's in there for you. The short version is we play on Heisman with the most realistic, most difficult sliders we've been able to find to make sure that it is a difficult game for users just as it is the computers. Third and 6, clock is moving, minute 7. One minute. Ginsburg this time gets the pick, running down the sideline and into the end zone.
By the power of Grayskull. Cringer became the mighty Battle Cat, and I became He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. Only 3 others share this secret.
Yes, Kits. But in addition to that, it's worth noting that this is actually a league game between 2 users this week. Not all of the games are user games, but this one is with fellow League 1 coach rBark, who is the coach at number 18 Boise State. He's the offensive coordinator, but in multiplayer games, that means you play both sides of the ball. All 3 phases of the ball, I should say. But yes, user coaches have custom playbooks for connectivity reasons, particularly in these user games. We've limited them to 65 offensive plays and 45 defensive plays because we found that improves connectivity. But yes, custom playbooks. They're small playbooks, but they're custom. And as Boise now down 3 scores with 39 seconds left to go, gets a first down and is hurrying down the field. And he waits too long, Davis waits too long in the pocket. Makes it 2nd and 21 with that sack. Washington State calls a timeout with 26 seconds left on the clock. I am not a crazy person talking in the third person. I am actually not the coach of Washington State. I am Coach Ninja. Coach Spectre is the coach of Washington State. I am a fellow coach in this dynasty. I'm currently the head coach at Penn State, and I have a bye in week 1 of season 11. Some excellent blocking. Lets Ferguson get to the outside. Can Kerouac catch up? He cannot. And Ferguson is able to bring it all the way downfield for Boise State's first points of the game. Ferguson is a special talent. That is a 95 freshman? Sorry, 95 sophomore having redshirted. 95 sophomore redshirt. I mean, no mistake. He's fantastic. But that was an incredible set of blocks that was made across that. And it was beautiful. Yeah, I'm slowly adding more and more of these things, like the League1 briefing and all of that stuff, and the WSU. Those are brand new for this 11th season, so I don't have to say that every week. But it is part of the whole spiel. Everybody, you come in, everybody's like, because everybody plays a different, in a dynasty, out of a dynasty, who's talking, who's playing. And I'm going to have to be honest with you, Kits. My knowledge of college football comes from NCAA 14 first. So when you ask about Art Briles, I vaguely feel like I've heard of the name, but I don't know enough here to say whether or not he was scapegoated. Maybe someone else might know, but that's beyond my realm of knowledge. I didn't actually go to a school that played football. As Indiana Jones has nothing on the triple option and fumbles the ball. He is a freshman having redshirted, sophomore having he's a freshman having redshirted, fumbles the ball 4 seconds, 12-yard line, first yard line. That is a big play for Boise, who is down by 14 points.
I think this defense right now needs somebody to try to lift up their spirits. They seem to really be just out there kind of going through the motions. And I think the last time they were out there where they gave up such a long drive has had an impact and an effect negatively on the psyche of this defense.
A great call there by the book to get within 11 points, within 12 points, 11 points. Absolutely the smart call with 4 seconds left there. A great knife edge play to get that ball, to get those points from Boise right before the half.
It's a line drive kick.
Alonzo Harris receives the ball, a veteran of Washington State's roster. And it is halftime, but it looks like both coaches ready and raring to go for the third quarter, in which Boise will be kicking off to Washington State. This season's Week 1 games kickoff classic is brought to you by Amazon Basics. Amazon Basics, making my computer workable since 2.5 weeks ago.
With all these processes, it's definitely testing connectivity in the 6545 is passing with good color so far.
lined up to start the second half.
Right on the end zone line to Alonzo Harris. He cuts outside. Can't break the defender. Returns it to about the 25, I'm sorry. Washington State up 11 points at Boise in their first game of this season first game of this season for either of these two users in the 11th season of League One. Indiana Jones throws it late, and the ball is deflected by Jacques of Boise.
From their own 25-yard line.
Second and 10 from the 25. Ernst Blofeld on the drag route. Good yards after the catch, despite contact there, to make it 3rd and 4 instead of 3rd and 7.5. Now, for those of you who think it's weird for Washington State to be number 4, you should know that Coach Spectre's been there for 6. This is the first game of Coach Spectre's 6th season at Washington State. He took them over when they were a 1-star team. They are now a They are now a 6-star school, having won multiple national titles, as Boise gets the pick on the missed throw by Indiana Jones. This is now the best field position of the game for Boise, and they're behind 11 points.
From the 37-yard line, it's first down. And that looked like a pretty good move as they called timeout before the play clock ran out.
What were you flashing me with?
I'm just trying to figure out how many stars. I'm sorry, I put a hand. I didn't think you were snapping it that quickly.
First down, 10 to go. Ball on the 37-yard line. Gets it out to his receiver in a hurry.
Fantastic throw there after contact by Davis to one of the Barretts, the Barrett brothers. Make it 2nd and 5.
Second down and 5. Ball on the 32-yard line. Takes it up the middle for a nice run.
Excellent run on 2nd down from the option. Makes it 3rd and short for Boise. but the running play gets stuffed for a loss of 3. It is now 4th and 4 on the Washington State's 31-yard line. We'll see what Coach rBark does.
So the kicker comes out. He'll try to put 3 points on the board. And they can make this a one-possession game with this kick right here. It's up, looks long enough.
And it's close to the left upright, but it's good. That's an 8-point game now for Boise between the fumble and the pick. 13 straight. I apologize. I cannot maths today.
Boise State is lining up to kick this one off. And he got all of this one. Great kick. He's to the 20.
The spin move by Harris can't get him outside the next man. Washington State starting this drive on the 18.
The offense comes out to start this drive, and they're hoping for a better result as they threw a pick on their last possession.
So much in football is about how you respond to adversity. Moving forward after a turnover is a perfect example of that.
Airing it out long. Doesn't get there. And they just couldn't connect there on the long ball.
Jones puts it out there. Makes sure that nobody's going to get it but the receiver. But the receiver can't get there either.
From their own 18-yard line. Second down. Washington State holds an 8-point advantage.
Jones gets lucky. It looked to me like he misread that option, but he's able to get around the defender and turn that into a first down.
He could pick up the first down if he kept it himself. That's a good decision.
Pass the guy reading the quarterback. So for a fourth look at that's 4 years ago as the starter. His speed, he's been running the table on the right side all game.
From their own 31-yard line. First down. In the shotgun and 5 wideouts. He's on the run. Incomplete. And that wasn't the greatest pass in the world.
Well, I don't know how anybody can throw a great pass while getting drilled like that.
Makes it second and 10.
Washington State bringing in their backup quarterback.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Number 3 is in at quarterback.
Second down, 10 to go. Ball on the 31. 5 wide. Makes the catch, and he's got nowhere to go. Nothing going on.
You know, I'm fairly certain that that pass was meant for the slant, not the drag, but that deflection, that was a great reception there by the receiver, regardless.
From their own 33-yard line. Third down. Washington State State up by 8.
Blofeld there in the backfield as the pitch man takes the pitch and gets good distance downfield out of the triple option left. Washington State trying to do something about Boise's defense. Boise, with 2 turnovers, scored 13 straight points. Still trailing by 8.
From the 41-yard line, first down.
Rickman takes the handoff, gets 6 yards right up the gut after bouncing off a few behinds. Fortunately for him, he did not fumble when presented with a teammate's rear end. It does not look like he'll be drafted by the New York Jets.
They're about 4 yards away here on second down.
Hannibal Lecter comes back towards the quarterback to make the reception, leans forward into the defender, gets to 3rd and 1, but cannot cross the line. Good effort, inches short.
Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 1. Washington State is up by 8.
This time the handoff is to Johnson.
28-yard line.
But once again, on 3rd and 1, the heavy formation does a lot of good work for Washington State. They are now on Boise's 28-yard line. They have 2 minutes and 4 seconds left to go in the third. Washington State is up by 8.
We're at play number 9 of this current drive. He scrambled. Tackle at the 21. He must not have seen anybody open on that play.
Great scramble there, and good tackle by Boise to really reach out and grab the arm, I guess, or grab the something of Indiana Jones and spin him down, because I guess the refs decided that it was not a face mask. They did not attempt to steal Indiana Jones's trademark fedora, and there was no penalty on that play.
This is the 10th play of the drive. Brought down after a nice run up the middle.
A rare power run from Washington State for anything more than inches. Does good work. Gets about 4 yards there. As many of you know, the hardest positions, some of the hardest positions in this game to recruit are the line positions. A school that begins at 1 star like Washington State, it takes a lot of work, takes a lot of mining to find those gems in order to get yourself a good offensive line. But after 6 years of hard labor, Washington State, the Cougars have one. They've got a good line. They've got a line you don't see out of a school that is like Washington State. And they can start to do a bit more of the power game that you typically see out of the traditional powers like Michigan and Ohio State and Notre Dame, rather than the spray and pray that you see from a lot of the mid-major schools relying on a quarterback and speed.
Second down and 9 to go. Ball on the 14.
A lot of men in the box for Boise. And one of them gets a hand on it, prevents the halfback angle. It is now 3rd and 9. 38 seconds remain in the third quarter.
Play of the drive coming up. They might be coming here. They'll call a timeout here to avoid a delay of game penalty.
Washington State doesn't like what they've got, flirts with the delay of game, calls a timeout.
So far this drive, the defense has been unable to stop them on third down. Going to the end zone, and it's coming back out.
The throw to the wide open receiver is way off. It gets picked. It gets taken out of the end zone, and then the attempt to kneel the ball in the end zone for the touchback causes the safety by Boise. What the hell?
Boise State will be punting this one on the free kick.
Just in case somebody starts to get offended, like, I can take that line.
The offensive
Ye-
But you really
for a
don't
better
know.
result than their
Yeah.
first drive.
Yeah, no, that's and you know what? That play deserved it.
Make changes after one play.
Jones with incredible elusiveness, but you know he can't do the high knees
Keeper gets him
in order to get around.
yards.
And that was the junior corner who will get credit with that tackle.
But yeah, unlucky from Boise that it got far enough out of the end zone to make it a safety instead of a touchback. The third quarter ends. It is Washington State's ball. They are up by 10. It's 2nd and 7.
Anyone's ball game as we head into the final quarter of play. 23-13, Washington State. From their own 43-yard line. Second down.
The Blue Sea there is parted for Alan Rickman. He runs it up the gut on the option for a beautiful 10 yards.
First and 10. Ball on the 50-yard line. He's got it with room to run. They'll bring him down.
Indiana there tosses to Johnson, the fullback, who's able to muscle through the corners there to make sure it's a first down by just leaning backwards and pumping those legs. Gotta say, like if that fullback's a good receiver and he can power through and he can turn that short yardage into first downs. This crowd now pretty quiet in Boise, Idaho.
It's first down. They'll drop him for a loss.
This time, though, Ernst Blofeld and Indiana Jones not able to avoid the read, not able to break open on the triple option left. It's now 2nd and 10.
Second down, 10 yards to go. Ball on the 38. They'll spread the field with 5 wide. Fires it out. And down he goes. At the
But this time, Blofeld is able to get it within inches of the first down marker. 3rd and inches on the 28.
So it's 3rd down, and they're just inches away from picking up the first down. Tackle made.
Alan Rickman there on the angle route catches it, avoids the defender, but can't avoid being spun, and that prevents the touchdown.
From the 14-yard line. First down. Well, the last time down here they threw an interception. They'd like to erase that memory. He's scrambling. He's tackled and denied. Jones.
Indiana Jones not breaking the defender, but he gets 5 yards on the smart play in tight coverage.
This is the 8th play of the drive. Takes it up the middle for a nice run.
4 yards for Rickman makes it 3rd and 1. They're within sight of the end zone. They are 10 points ahead of Boise State.
It's 3rd down, and this offense is about 3 feet away from that first down marker. Touchdown, Washington State. State to kick this one off. He just drills this one. And it goes into the end zone, down for a touchback. The last drive not only failed to produce points, but it cost them 2.
Defenses get a big boost when they can score a safety, so expect to see these guys flying to the ball in this possession too.
Up the middle for a nice gain. Solid 5-yard pickup there on the halfback option.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
And it's intercepted. And who else? It's the senior safety. And he's all the way in for the touchdown.
How about the play by the defender? That was a great.
Once again, the Washington State defender there, he jumps a route. We've seen this time and time again. They like to jump the routes. They think they know what the offense is doing. Gets the pick, and he runs that in for a score.
Fight, fight, fight for Washington State. Win the victory. Win the day for Crimson and Gray. Best in the West, we know you'll all do your best. So on, fight till the end. Honor and glory you must win. So fight, fight, fight for Washington State and victory.
Nice kick, plenty of distance.
You know, honestly.
This one's going to be down in the end zone for a touchback.
Okay. Well timed. Well timed.
Boise, behind by multiple scores, just under 4 minutes to go in the game. It's the first game of the season. It's against last year's defending national champs. Let's see how Boise is looking for the future.
Incomplete, and that wasn't the greatest pass in the world.
Well, I don't know how anybody can throw a great pass while getting drilled like that.
From their own 25-yard line, it's second down. And he's going to be sacked for a loss.
Coaches don't like it when their quarterback gets hit like that. Don't be surprised to see the old coach get on his lineman to protect the quarterback a little bit better.
Because there have been a couple of times when they've looked good and a couple of times when he's looked bad. It's a growing. I knew that going in when I started.
That's part of why I'm so baffled that that you would go with Indy.
Another sack here on 3rd and long.
It's a little bit of garbage time here, but we're looking to see
They keep it on the ground.
what it is that Boise State has, and with a spin move and some stuff there, I mean, that's 6 yards. It's not the greatest thing on 3rd down in the 4th quarter, But if it's a sign of what Boise State has for the awareness that Boise State has for the rest of the season, that's a good sign. There's certain things that at this point that are unavoidable.
Clearly, their running back was awesome.
Ferguson, yeah,
Huge touchdown.
Ferguson, clearly a great guy. If I was broadcasting him on a regular basis, I would definitely have some Craig Ferguson clips, from his late night show, because he deserved that kind of attention.
Just under 3 to go in regulation. They get this one off, and it's a beauty.
Ahoy, hoy, Leon. Thank you for joining us. Unfortunately, I've got a bye this week, so this is the only game we've got tonight. We do not have a doubleheader for you. But we are here. We are on the Smurf turf in Boise, Idaho. It's worth noting that 14 of Washington State's 37 points have been defensive touchdowns. So 37 minus 14 is 23 on offense. Minus 2 is a safety. Defense has scored 16 points, but the interesting part about that is actually that the first 21 points of the game were scored by Washington State. Washington State's offense has not scored since the middle of the second quarter. You got the offense did? Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. You're right. You got a third quarter touchdown from Indiana Jones.
First half defensive touchdowns.
Yeah, I can't blame you for that, Leon. I really want to see that. And that's a great job from Indy there in order to push the defender to make it 3rd and inches instead of 3rd and 2. Because that was the difference. Blofeld goes up and comes down with the ball there. I'll be honest, it occurs to me that I know that Burns is a fan of baseball, and he did baseball, and that was a great series, and I love Ken Burns' baseball. But I wouldn't object to a Ken Burns' football.
From the 34-yard line, first down. Just over a minute left. He's taken down at the 21.
I mean, I'd watch 14 2-hour episodes by Ken Burns about the history of football. Minute 17 left. 1st and 10, 21-yard line. Washington State is up 37-13. Yeah, there is that.
It's first down. Taken down right around the 22-yard line.
I'm in the middle of a conversation. Yeah, that's an interesting question. We'll see how much Jeb Bartlett Donald Trump has in him, because who knows. I hope for you that it doesn't. As we watch this clock count down.
second timeout.
And Jones with the kneel down there. Boise calls another timeout with 15 seconds and 24 on the clock. Like, what he said and what he's calling is incongruous to me. Well, we'll catch up to it in a minute, but I can't not be a showman. Yeah.
Sends it sailing downfield. He's to the 10. He's to the 20.
And a fantastic effort. That is a great example of playing until the final whistle, because that run back almost broke open. It's 27 yards. Let's see what we can do with Boise in 7 seconds.
Both teams are playing out the stretch here. You want to get experience for guys who normally don't get in the game and try to avoid injuries. The offense lining up in a victory formation, and he takes a knee.
Well, thank you for joining us for week 1 of season 11 of League 1. That was the first game of the season between user coach Spectre of number 4 Washington State and user coach rBark of number 18 Boise State. It was a heck of a game, even out of 40 points. The Boise defense showed why they're a top-ranked team. The Boise offense, well, the Washington State defense showed why they're a top-ranked team. They've recruited for defense for decades at this point. And this was a question of whose defense was better than whose offense. And with the wrinkles thrown in, and 3 turnovers either side, and a lot of defensive points. I mean, that's 40 points for Washington State, but 16, almost half of those points were defensive points. That's a great game, and we look forward to seeing more of that in the upcoming weeks, because this is only week 1 of season 11 of League 1. But unfortunately, because myself, Coach Ninja, I've got to bye this week. This is the only game we had for you, and it's over. It's 40-13, Washington State over Boise State. Sorry, Madden God, you got here right, literally after the clock went final. But it's a heck of a game, and I do really suggest that you go back and watch it on the rerun, watch it on the VOD, or whatever the hell they're calling it now. Follow us on Twitch, because we'll be playing games every Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. It's usually Friday, but if we need a user game, if I've got to play Houston or someone's got to play Kansas, we'll reschedule. We might play on a Sunday. We might play on a Saturday. We might play on a Tuesday. But we go through a week per week. This is the 11th season of League 1. And so, yeah. Madden, if you throw us a follow, you'll get an alert next Friday when we kick off. We'll have another user game next Friday between Washington State and Kansas. So If that's something you want to see, you can look forward to that at like 9:30 next week. Interesting. Georgia Tech, one of the few non-academy teams that runs an academy offense. Am I right? Yes, and I'm told by my NCAA historian here, Coach Spectre, who just finished this game, that the coach at Georgia Tech came from Navy. I like the running game. I like the deception. I like the academy offense. Georgia Tech's a real interesting team. So it's a team I'm looking forward to. If I play them, it's interesting. If we see what's going on with them, it's interesting. So I think that's as far as teams go, that's a pretty damn good one to follow in my book. But we're just wrapping up here, and of course we did just play against a fellow user within our league. He's a longtime friend of ours, so we're gonna go and we're gonna talk to him on the phone and have a little bit of a coach to coach here. But we really thank you for joining us, and we look forward to having you next week for another user game between Washington State and Kansas. Hopefully we can be a little bit of your NCAA fix in the off season until things kick up again. But thank you for joining us. Even Madden, I'm sorry you found us at the last second. Please join us next week. We'd love to have you. But we'll see you then. And from all of us here at League 1, have a good night.